You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.
Stop! Where are we going?
The Sternberg!
Don't get left behind. We're waiting for you here at the Sternberg Museum, where there's always new opportunities for
Discovery under the dome.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of early childhood grants for USD 489. And with me today is Joan Dunn. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
Now, first of all, Joan, tell us what organization you work for and what you do there.
I work for Early Childhood Connections, which is actually a 0 to 5 program, and my responsibilities include coordinating the 0 to 3 part of the program, which is the parents as teachers in early Head Start.
Now, this program is devoted to early childhood, and a lot of times that means parents, but it also means grandparents, because grandparents love their grandbabies and they're always around. And our topic today is safe sleep. So why do you need to discuss the role of safe sleep with grandparents?
Well, it's quite interesting. You would, you know, and I fit into the grandparent role now for 10 years already. So, but grandkids, you just, you know, they add that a new dimension to your life. But children also bring changes not only to their parents' lives, but also the dynamics of that relationship between the adult children and their parents. And even though you might think that, you know, a grandparent should automatically know how to raise their child, because of those differences in dynamics, it can be a little bit different and a little trickier. And keeping that open communication is very important.
Now, I know when we had our first son and we took him to Grandma's house, we had a big long booklet that showed Grandma how to take care of her grandson, which she laughed because she said, "Don't you remember I took care of you?" So, but I also think back when I was young, we didn't have car seats. We just, you know, but a lot of things have changed over the years.
There have been a lot of changes.
A lot of changes. So what are some things that might be different now when you're become a grandparent than when you were a parent?
Okay, besides the car seat thing, I wanted to focus on today the sleeping habits that, you know, when my children were little, 30-some years ago, we put them to sleep on their stomachs. Well, you know, since 1994, we have been hearing about the Back to Sleep campaign and how much safer that is. So that is basically our main topic for today is safe sleeping for those grandkids.
Now, I know there's two different terms. Now, I've heard of SIDS before. People have heard of that. But then there's another term, SUIDS. What is that? What's the difference?
Right. SUIDS actually stands for, if I can find it in
That's
here.
all right.
Let's see, sudden infant death syndrome, of course, is SIDS.
SIDS,
And did I not write out SUIDS? SUIDS is sudden unexpected infant deaths.
Okay.
So there's just a slight difference. With SUIDS, this includes all unexpected deaths of children under 1 year of age. And out of that broad category of SIDS fits into that category,
Okay,
which
so
is
SUIDS is above and SIDS is one of the categories.
and SIDS are those that there is no known cause for the death. And 50% of the SUIDS include the SIDS
deaths.
Yes.
Now, what should you know about these? Is there, you know, what factors help promote? We talked about sleeping on their back or on the tummy. What do grandparents need to know?
Okay, so some of the causes of the SUIDS, of course, is suffocation. And this has dramatically changed because if you know, you're younger than I am, but I can remember when sheepskins and some of those really soft plush surfaces were used to lay babies down, which could contribute to suffocation. So that is one of the causes of the SUIDS. Entrapment. This simply means that the child is entrapped between two objects. Maybe it's the mattress and the wall.
The bumper pads.
Yes.
Yeah.
So entrapment is a second cause. And then strangulation. And this is when something presses on or wraps around a baby's neck, which blocks the airway. We've seen the things that you can hang across the gym. Well, if those come unattached, a baby can get something wrapped around their neck. Pacifiers that are on too long of a string can cause strangulation.
So what are some things that you would need to do to promote? Just make sure you don't have those things?
Right. The best thing is to prevent either SIDS or SUIDs, because let me just backtrack a little bit. Since 1994, when the Back to Sleep campaign has come out, we have reduced the number of deaths from these causes by 50%. So some of the very important things are a safe surface. And for a child, that means a nice, firm sleep surface with a tight-fitting sheet on it. So we're going to avoid, like I said, those bumper pads, those sheepskins, those very soft coverings. Think of the adult mattresses that we have. We have the foam ones that mold to your body. You know, if a very young child were laying on those, they might nestle their little face right down into that surface. So that nice, safe, firm surface. And then also make sure you have just avoid objects in the bed. If we
Stuffed animals, those
oh
sort of things.
yes,
No,
those and pillows, and of course, you know, there again, just those soft coverings. We also want to avoid smoke around a baby. So if a parent smokes, you know, that's just bad. But also, you can have secondhand and even third-hand smoke. So even if you go outside and smoke, but you're you know, you can still have that smoke residue on your clothes, and babies breathing that can increase the chances of SIDS.
Well, I know one of the things that I always worried about is you would put your baby to sleep the right way, and then you come in and they've, you know, rolled over and they're sleeping in the wrong position. Should you go ahead and move them at that point?
No, you don't have to, because learning to roll over is a normal growth process. So you put that baby down to sleep in the same position. You always put the baby down to sleep on their back. If they roll over, that's okay. And you don't have to wake them up. You don't have to reposition them, because, you know, at some point, usually between 4 and 6 months, rolling over is going to happen, and that's okay.
Well, and that brings us, I remember with my son, it was really important. They were always talking about tummy time. So is that still something that's important?
Oh, tummy time is extremely important, and that's a whole new topic. But yes, we need tummy time for our babies, but you do tummy time when the child is awake and being observed. And that tummy time is going to increase the strength of the neck muscles, the shoulders, the upper arms. Plus, unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of babies with flat heads. You know, they have been sleeping on their backs, or, heaven forbid, they're in car seats forever and ever. And babies' heads are being disformed because of that. So we do want to encourage that tummy time.
But when they go to sleep, on their backs.
On their
On their backs. Now, any closing remarks that would be helpful for grandparents or parents?
The other one closing is going to sleep. So, you know, grandkids or otherwise, when you put that baby down, even if it's just for a nap, you still always want to put them on their backs first. And then, of course, avoid those objects that could cause danger.
Now, if parents have some questions or would like to know more about the Connections program, how do they contact you?
Okay, our number is 785-623-2440, and that's for the 0 to 3 age group, and the 0 to 5, or the 3 to 5, is 623-2430.
All right. Joan, wonderful information. Good information for grandparents. Thank you, Joan.
Thank you.
You've been watching You and Your Young Child. Parents and grandparents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.